Well, I guess rip VidMe. That's for them, the toast, whatever, for the fallen. Now, VidMe, you remember it, right? It was that video platform a lot of people said was great, was going places and stuff. It went two places, it went belly up and it went broke, and those are not very good places. So, as you might have heard, VidMe, of which you might have heard, I hope so, we're gonna just take that as given, has gone bankrupt, has gone broke, belly up, whatever. They have made a post titled "Goodbye for now." They have it on their website. You know, we're shutting down on December 15th. They basically, you can't upload any videos anymore, and those videos that are there will be gone on the 15th when they will be permanently deleted. They've given several reasons for it, and we're gonna look at some of them, but we're not going to look at their post too in depth. I'll put it for you in the description, first link. You can, check it out there. But basically, there was some valid reasoning they gave, and there was also some stupidity, or at least bad judgment on their part, that made the entire company go belly up. Now, what we're going to talk about is what can be done better, or secondly, and what happened first. Alright, I don't know if I even introduced myself, but again, I'm Bernhard Everett. You can find me on another YouTube alternative. I assume you're watching this on YouTube. If you are watching this on BitChute, where you can find me under this self-same name, that's a great thing. So thank you and hello and welcome, I guess, to my BitChute videos. I don't know. But I think BitChute really has the best chance of becoming an alternative. Their biggest creators even now, I think it's like Styx Hexenhammer is the biggest one, who's also surged ahead since VidMe shut down. Computing Forever is another one who is, both of them were early adopters of VidMe and very, how do you say it, big creators. They were some of the biggest creators on VidMe, and VidMe kind of ignored them or ignored their advice and really didn't do much for them. So, yeah, I mean, that was part of the reason they probably went belly up. Now, for some time, there's been talks about YouTube alternatives. We should have alternatives to this, to that, whatever. And a lot of that basically goes in the direction that now there's a thing that at least Styx calls alt-tech, which is alternative tech companies that are gonna replace the first or second generation tech companies that are now growing large and corrupt, like Facebook and YouTube. There's also a lot of whiners and negative Nellies and whatever that basically say, oh, YouTube is monolithic, we can never do anything about YouTube, we're lost, they're gonna censor us all, the apocalypse is here, and we will never have a viable alternative. Yeah, there's a bunch of people like that, and you see them, crawl out of their little holes every now and then, and they're gonna be pretty loud in the next few days about the whole VidMe thing. Oh, we told you it couldn't work. YouTube's gonna be here forever. There's never gonna be any change to it. And yeah, no, stuff like that doesn't happen. Okay, the point is, I'm just gonna make this point very quickly because I want to give you some hope, or basically tell you why I believe that alt-tech will inevitably succeed at some point. Maybe not the sites we see now, although some of them are pretty good, like BitChute, like Gab, like Minds, but at some point. And that is, the bigger something is, the faster it falls. Think of the Tower of Babel as an example. Humans try to build the biggest organization in the world, and as Jordan Peterson has pointed out, probably it's not too big to fail. At some point, it's so big it has to fail. YouTube, Facebook, all these other platforms, they've become so big that they will at some point fail. YouTube will take a long time maybe for this. They have their daddy Google, and they're doing an okay enough job as of now. Despite everything bad about YouTube, they're still doing an okay enough job, a good job actually in some respects, but an okay enough job in most aspects, that they won't alienate the majority of people too soon. At some point that might happen. Now Facebook, on the other hand, yeah, they're really stepping in it and they're really trying to destroy their own platform. So I think Minds and Gab are the first two who are going to explode, and I think BitChute might lag behind a bit. Also, Minds and Gab both have a video feature now. Anyway, Now, we're going to talk again about what happened. What happened to VidMe? Well, what they said in their post, I'm going to quickly summarize it for you here after 5 minutes. Yeah, right. But I'm quickly going to summarize. They said, we can't make ends meet. You know, it's too expensive to make video hosting because you have to pay for the storage of the videos and you have to pay for the bandwidth of the, you know, sending the video file of however many gigabytes to the person who actually wants to watch the damn thing. So bandwidth is a giant issue and storage is a giant issue. That, you know, that kind of sucks. So they can't make ends meet. The reasons they gave is because, well, we're not large enough. We're too small to make large-scale, you know, broad negotiations with advertising companies, and they won't pay us the higher rates. They won't pay us YouTube ad money. And even YouTube is having problems, as we can see with the adpocalypse. Now, I'm going to quickly explain what's up with that. What's up with that is that, I think Hank Green pointed this out, that basically in the beginning YouTube said, oh yeah, you know, all these advertising companies, we're going to make them obsolete, we're going to replace them. Now, what are advertising companies? If BMW, if McDonald's, if some company wants to advertise, mostly they don't do it on their own. They go to another company, advertising company, and say, look, advertise for us. Here you have maybe the ad, we produced it for you, or you're going to produce it for us, whichever way you like. But, you know, find some platforms where we can distribute these advertisements. We'll pay you some money for that. Now, these advertising companies obviously were not very happy about YouTube trying to make them obsolete. So they said, no, F you, YouTube, and now they're kind of one of the reasons, not the only reason, not the main reason maybe even, but one of the reasons, I think actually, no, it might be one of the main reasons, why there's an adpocalypse on YouTube, why there's a struggle between YouTube and the advertisers is because the advertising companies are trying to retain their power and actually maximize their power over YouTube. They're trying to gain power and leverage over YouTube, which previously had basically boasted that it would make them obsolete. Now, they also said, VidMe also said in their post that their competitors now include Facebook and they now include Instagram and YouTube and other platforms, and they showed a chart, I can show it to you too, I mean, there's no harm in that basically of the mobile apps and mobile, you know, phone traffic is a big part of it now. Of the mobile apps, 8 of the 10 are now biggest or most used apps are now owned by YouTube or Facebook. So blue for Facebook and red for YouTube. Now, one thing they neglected to mention, of course, is that Android, which is the most used system, is a Google system, and of course these 5 Google services are basically installed on every Android device. So yeah, it makes sense that Google would install its own apps, its own services on your cell phone and try to make you use that. And they say, oh, you know, it's Facebook really doesn't really like the embed thing for our videos, so that gave us a hit, yada yada yada. They say that the vast majority of the vast majority also of advertising spending, so video ad spending in the US, 60% I think goes to Facebook and Google. And they said that fan patronage, so they basically had a thing where it was like they had on the one hand a kind of Patreon kind of thing, and on the other hand a tip jar, which is kind of like PayPal kind of thing, which, you know, they thought were great features, but the little margin that they could basically take off that without people using other services because they were taking too much, the little they could make off that was not enough to cover their costs. They said that storing and delivering video remains extremely costly, and they basically projected storing and delivering video, so the storing space, gigabytes, whatever, terabytes, billions of terabytes, I don't know how much, like YouTube has like acres of server farms for that kind of stuff. Anyway, and the bandwidth for delivering the video. They said, oh, we thought it was going to get much cheaper, and it has become much cheaper, but it didn't get as much cheaper as we had hoped or as we would have needed to be profitable in any sense. Now this is actually, I'm just going to put this as an aside because I want to make a startup someday, and I did inform myself at least slightly on the whole thing. This is probably the stupidest thing you can do if you make a startup. So projecting that some costs or something will fall, and if these costs fall by like, I don't know, 60%, then our site is profitable. You know, you're probably pulling stuff out your ass. You might even be dreaming. You know, you can't count on that to happen. You can't count on external factors, on costs becoming much lower, and then you'll be profitable, because it could be delayed, it could be faster, it could be slower. You know, maybe you'll find out that the costs, you need them to be reduced by 50% to be profitable, but they only can be reduced by 30% because there's a hard cap for some reason there, or whatever, you know. There's a bunch of reasons why it's a stupid idea to think that we can only be profitable if circumstances change. Now, if you can find a way that without the cost structure changing significantly, which the business administration guys basically call ceteris paribus in German, which is a Latin phrase for all else being equal. Like, if you want to make a startup, assume that the cost structure is going to be pretty much the same the entire time through, or at least the entire time you're going to have money, which is not going to be a long time, by the way, if you make a startup, and don't have like a billionaire backing you. And even then it might not be that long. So just assume the cost structure won't change, and just find a way to become at least like go at least even, or even profitable with a small or moderate, like below what you actually expect there to be in growth of people buying your product, or people, you know, like what's it called? Customers. Like, if you estimate that you're going to get 100 customers in the first year, just find a way to make it profitable at 50 or at 20. Like, make a way so that even if you get way less customers than you expect to get, you're still going to not be that deep in the red that you're going to go broke within a few months. That is one good advice, I would say, from a startup perspective. And again, I haven't done one myself yet, but if you know the statistic that I think was, what was it, 90% of startups go broke within the first 2 years, it might be a smart idea to not get the biggest cost overhead when you start. That really will kill you fast, very fast. It's not like you're going to be the first one who's sunk by too high costs like VidMe did. So what happened? Yeah, costs were too high. They didn't work around that. And then they said, which was even more stupid. Oh my god. I mean, Styx was kind of, well, he wasn't mean per se, but he was kind of, I guess, smug about this. When he said that, you know, them saying that it's hard to attract and keep audiences from other platforms there. Yes, it's pretty hard to attract massive audiences from other platforms. You have to start somewhat in a niche, that's true. But he also said, and what Styx said I think was correct, that he had 17,000 people following him on VidMe, and if he had been more confident, probably would have been 20,000 or more. That's more than 10% of his audience. Now, if I pushed really, really hard, I might get 10% of my audience on another platform, which is going to be like 60 people. It's not a lot. So yeah, sorry about that, but I mean, I'm going to try pushing for that. And if I did videos as often as Styx did, I mean, and really tried to push it, I probably would get a lot of people, like 100 people on a different platform. And I have like 500 subscribers on YouTube, or 560, right? So I don't have a lot to go from. Now, other people like Dave Cullen, like Styx Hexenhammer, who have 180,000, something like that, 150,000, 100,000, whatever the heck, like huge amounts of subscribers. If they push really hard, they do get quite a lot of people on another platform, tens of thousands. Now, that's not millions, that's not going to help you against the advertising companies, but it's a lot. Also, I don't think advertising is the way to go in the future. Now, we're going to go into the what can be done now, because I don't want to pull this out too long. It's going to be longer than 20 minutes, but not too long, I hope. Anyway, so what can be done better? The first point, they made a bunch of points at the end too, where they said, oh, this is what we learned, this is our advice for people who try to get started in this area. So first thing is wow, my tongue is really getting caught in my mouth today. Infrastructure. You must, I think, that this is not what they said, but they basically said, oh yeah, you basically should, you know, get used to operating on a loss for a long time. No, not really. What you should do is find a way to make the whole thing much, 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 much cheaper so you can offset the cost. Styx in his video, which is also, this is half a response to that, he pointed out that you could also just downgrade the video quality. For many people who leave YouTube because they don't like YouTube, and if you have other features that are good enough, you know, to make it a unique selling proposition, which you need as a startup company. Unique selling proposition means you have to be basically the only one offering it, and, you know, it has to be something that people value, right? So what he said was, you know, if basically people are still going to use your site if you only stream in 360 or 480. He said 480, right? You don't have to do the 1080 thing. And they could have asked the people for money. They could have asked their audiences or whatever for money. Just said, look, this is fucking expensive, and really we need help to offset the entire cost. All right, that's a good thing, I guess. So, yeah, find a way to make it much cheaper for you. Streaming in 480, only in 480, for instance, would be an option. Many people, you know, they might be bothered by it, but honestly, like, if you watch it on your cell phone or somewhere else, it doesn't really matter that much. Or on your tablet or on your laptop, it's going to be like, yeah, whatever. And the first users you have, you know, they're probably not going to be the $1 million production people or the $1,000 production people even. They're going to be like the guys with the webcam like me here. I think the max I can get out of my OBS is 720. I wouldn't care. It wouldn't significantly downgrade my video quality. I don't think that's even possible much. Like 240 maybe, but like 360, that's kind of, 480 is pushing it. That's pushing the capability limit. Okay, I'm not the biggest creator, yes, so tailoring it towards me would be nice, but, you know, maybe go for someone like Styx or Dave Cullen or whatever. Anyway, find a way to make it much cheaper. Now, VidMe themselves said monetization is the #1 issue. And even though I don't really sympathize with the guy on the basis that he basically calls everyone who's left right of Hillary human scum, but Folding Ideas, a YouTube channel here, had some good points on this. And what he said was, I thought it was insightful. Third link in the description. Second one is Styx's video on the topic. But so third link in the description is his video on VidMe, where he raised some good points. What he said was, you know, monetization is an emotionally pressing issue for many people, but it's not the #1 issue that needs solving. And I would add, that's because there's other websites. Like, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Hatreon, there's, you know, Minds has some monetizing. Like, there's a bunch of websites who can do monetizing for you. And if you just find a way to embed the monetization options in your channel or whatever, in your videos, that would be, you know, that would be a great thing, I think. Right? You don't have to do the monetization on your own website for starters. You can embed external websites. You can also find later maybe a way to funnel it through your site and, you know, make that a thing, and that might help. That might be good, but it's not your #1 priority. I do agree with that, and it shouldn't be the #1 priority. Just find a way to make the whole process cheaper, and then basically what you could do is say, look, I don't know how much this is going to cost, but look, if you're going to upload videos to our platform, and you know, you're gonna have to help us pay for the whole bandwidth thing. And I would even go as far as this. So here's the thing. Minds.com, the founder, Bill Ottman, has said that open source is, you know, the future of the internet, whatever. Yes, I would do not only open source, although I have to admit I only half understand open source because I'm not a techie. I study sociology. Give me a break. I don't have a clue about maths and tech. But anyway, well, I don't know enough about it to be an authority, but I'm just going to put my 2 cents in anyway because, well, I study sociology. That's why I'm going to put out there my opinion anyway, even if I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. That's just a quirk we have. Anyway, so what you could do is basically go like Gab. We need this much money to fund our site. We have this much income. If you want to, you know, upload videos here, that's great. If you want to keep them indefinitely on your, like on your account, you know, you pay, what, $1 a year, $5 a year, $10, $12 a year, $1 a month, I don't know. Pay some small amount or smallish amount to be able to host for a while. Or maybe you could say, look, if it's great, you know, it would be great if you guys could support the platform if you're watching. You know, you can get like a support account, like you pay $5 a month or you pay $1 a month, and you get to like 50% of that is going to go towards funding the site, and the other 50% you can allocate to your favorite creators. You can basically say, oh yeah, I want to tip this guy for my monthly whatever, right? There you'd have a way to monetize. Just find a way. You could even do like several, you don't even have to, you can say, okay, make a free account, but you know, you crowdfunding every month for new, like just to get by the month, like Gab does. That would be also an option. Do something, find something, be creative, think outside the box, do something that VidMe didn't do, think outside the box. Then they said, oh yeah, audience building is pretty hard. Well, if you get the largest creators aboard and you basically do it like BitChute, where it automatically uploads if you upload to another website like YouTube, you know, the creators are going to plop their channel link in there, and then they're basically probably going to ignore it, and then at some point they'll look at it and it's like, oh shit, I have like 500, maybe 1,000 subscribers, a few comments, I'm going to interact with that maybe a bit. And you know, you keep the people on the site just by letting them do what they do otherwise, just make it simple for them. Here's the thing, if you want to make a successful website, you have to make it simple for the people who are supposed to host the content and simple for the people who are looking for content. Now, something that many people have pointed out in the past, I'm just going to show you. If you search for anything on VidMe, what's this? What the fuck? What the fuck, VidMe? Why is there a bunch of channels names here if I want to just search for fucking cats, right? Oh, here's things relating to cats. Here's cat videos and shit like that. I was looking for that, right? So, put the videos first if that's what your platform serves. Like, the first thing you should show the people is that which your platform is about. It's not about these people, it's about these videos. Show them these videos first before you show them these people. If you want to show them the people, you can basically do a little side thing here where look for accounts with that in it or whatever, or look for blogs with that in it or whatever. Now again, I haven't looked at PewTube much. It seems to be populated by predominantly alt-right people at the moment, but they apparently have a SoundCloud like a kind of thing where you can actually put what's it called? Audio only like content, which is great. By the way, I'm probably going to check that one out. I do find that interesting. But for video only hosting, I still at the moment prefer BitChute. Anyway, that's another thing. One thing that BitChute did, and one thing I think PewTube also did, again, I saw it the first time today, but what they seem to have done is they have a pro-free speech TOS. Put it in your terms of service that you're going to be incredibly pro-free speech and that you're not going to fuck anyone over for no reason. That, you know, that's a good thing. That's something that VidMe didn't do. Community focus, in the sense of manual reviews for your bigger creators at least. A contact person for bigger accounts. You know, like if someone like Styx goes to your website and he says like, oh yeah, I'm gonna upload my videos here now too. You basically, you know, he brings you 1,000 people where before that you maybe had 2,000. Like now he's a third of your platform or half of it or some absurdly high number. You're gonna be like, Styx, whenever you have a problem with their website, just shoot us an email and like, I don't know, maybe we have 3 people working here. We're going to have one person sitting there just, you know, looking every evening into his emails and just checking if you specifically wrote him an email. And he's going to personally answer you. And if you want to, you know, we can even like talk to you on Discord or something like that. You know, we're here for you, our biggest creator. That's kind of the sensible thing for you. We're here for you because you basically brought the most people to our platform. So I don't know, if you have 10 people there, you can say the top 100 creators, and every one of these persons, or half of them, get like the 5 creators or 10 creators, whatever, to look after. You know, get some personal contact person for these people. Get someone to interact with your bigger creators. Get someone to manually review anything if it's got flagged down or something. Now, I'm going to borrow a bit of, again, Folding Ideas video here, so again, I recommend checking that out, even though I think he's not a nice person, but he's a competent one. You know, he's an asshole, but he's incompetent, a competent asshole. So, you know, there's that. I mean, competence is great. So I'm going to appreciate that, which is why I'm going to kind of say some of the things he said. So he said that what YouTubers actually want is security, a platform that cares about harassment, about abuse, you know, about malicious use of automated services, malicious use of, you know, all of these things are things that you should actually look out for. I would say make it so everyone can basically moderate their own channel and the comments on their channel. Like someone like Styx, for instance, he's not going to care about toxic comments. But other people might not be so happy about that. So me, myself, I do delete comments that are only toxic and non-productive, you know. If they're somewhat productive and still toxic, I just basically tell the people, okay, be a bit nicer next time, but yes, I've heard your criticism. But if there's no criticism, if it's only like insults, I'm gonna feel free to delete that, because I don't have a time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, and I don't care about that. There's not enough comments, you know, so I can't look over them every now and then, and I don't care to be insulted, I'm gonna be honest. People are gonna do it anyway on their own channels, but I don't have to watch their videos or their channels, so I don't give a flying fuck what they do on their channels. One big point Folding Ideas said was, you get the audience you cultivate. And what I think is, you should give the creators on these platforms the ability to cultivate their own audience, like basically on YouTube, sort of. Now, the filtering tools, the automated services, that's a whole different kettle of fish, and we're going to talk about those in the future too. But yes, you have to address some of these things. Again, look at the second half of Folding Ideas video. If you're going to make a platform, you can look at the second half of his video. He has some interesting ideas. Now, moderation tools, collaboration tools, a way to make series and shows that give you a continuous experience, a good user experience. A multi-user setup where you basically say, this is a channel admin, these are some, you know, lower staffers or something, like a PewDiePie. He can say, oh yeah, I have access to my channel, I can upload, delete, whatever, but if I want someone else to do something on the channel for me, like moderate comments or insert tags or insert descriptions or whatever, you know, I'm gonna have to really, I know it's gonna be hard. I have to give him my whole account now. 5 people have my account and password. If one of them gets compromised, my entire account is fucked. One of them could randomly delete videos of mine. Make it a way so you can give access to account but partition powers. So the owner of the account is the only one who can delete content or hide it or change the status, whether it's, you know, visible or not. But other people can add descriptions and can add tags and titles and whatever, you know, can do that. Make something like that. Other people can use the analytics section, can use the channel layout page, something like that. You can do that. One thing that, when talking about VidMe, or YouTube in this case, one of the bigger German YouTubers said was that way back when you could basically design your own channel page on YouTube and didn't look as sterile as it did today. You could basically make it your own thing. Yeah, do something like that. You know, make it really an individual experience. And, or make it so, this is another idea I actually found interesting by Folding Ideas. It's like, on YouTube, if you do a secondary channel, you basically are starting from scratch and you kind of fuck yourself over, right? So that's not great. So what could you do? Well, make a way to compartmentalize content without making a completely new channel or, you know, segmenting the viewership between your channels. Now maybe, you know, I'll take SciShow as an example. They have SciShow, they have SciShow Space, they have SciShow Psychology, whatever, you know, stuff like that. Maybe you could do it that on your website, the channel basically, you know, it's SciShow, and then you have SciShow, SciShow Space, SciShow Psychology, SciShow Biology, and then the users get all the notifications, but they can basically say, yeah, you know, I'm subscribed to this channel, but I don't like this class of content they're making, so I'm going to unsubscribe from that particular thing, hide notifications, something like that. So let's say Styx, for instance, he has his political issues, his Vermont issues, his gardening, his occult literature, his occult series, his drugs and entheogens series. You know, you make it so you could basically put each one in a different, like, serial category, whatever, and then you make it so if you subscribe to Sticks on your web page, let's call it, because my name's Anka, let's call it Anchor.io or something like that. I don't know. Ancap.io, that's where the name comes from, but probably not a good name for a video hosting platform. Anyway, so, do something like that. He could basically put it in different categories. You subscribe to Sticks, you subscribe to all the categories. But then you're like, I don't really want to see the Vermont issues crap. So I do want to see it because I don't live in the US, but for some reason I find it funny to watch Sticks, so I'm going to watch the Vermont series too. I mean, come on. It's a great series. Fun series too. Anyway, so they can basically go there and like click, okay, no, we're not going to get any more notifications from Vermont issues. So there, you can compartmentalize content and you give the user the possibility to basically tailor their own experience. Make it so that they get the types of content they want to see. Make your trending page, and then if you have the problem like VidMe had, that political content was like at the top, you basically tell the users, look, if you don't like political content, just click once here, and you have like, I don't know, 10 categories, and each one of them has a little, I forgot what they're called, I don't know, a little X in them, and you click on, the X is no longer there, and you no longer get to see the trending in politics or whatever. You can personally tailor it to your experience. Now, that's not going to piss off the political content creators because they still get into trending. And it's not going to piss off the people who don't care about politics and don't want to see it, because they can basically just say, okay, I'm not going to, look for politics. I don't want that in my trending feed. Okay, good. Then the politics guy, reaches the people who are interested or do not care about seeing political issues in the trending section. And the people who are not interested, in seeing politics, don't see the guy who wants to be on trending. And the other guy, again, the guy who wants to be on trending in politics or in general, he's not going to be pissed because the people who say, I don't want to see politics in my trending, are not going to fucking watch his videos anyway. So, what's the point? Again, Then you should also be... Now, many of these websites are politically biased. Now, VidMe, YouTube, everyone had their political bias. BitChute's sort of libertarian, whatever. Now, if you do team picks, I'd say even if you are politically biased, which you are going to be, don't express it. Just say, look, we have our own opinions, but we're not going to make that your problem. We're not going to do team picks. We're not going to favor one direction of politics over the other. Everyone's welcome here, right? Do whatever the fuck you want. The team picks thing was a nice thing, but again, it's not... You shouldn't do favoritism, especially in the political realm, even if you really, really want to. Just hold back on that, please. Another guy said, can't really migrate channel content, content from one channel to another. You lose analytics, whatever. That's also not great. Multi-user setups or collaboration tools in the sense of if basically 3 different people worked on a video, what you should do is basically put all their 3 channel subscribe buttons, I'm just going to use YouTube terms here, put them all 3 under the video, say all of these people participated, you can subscribe to all of these, and maybe show it on all of their channels. So, if I made a video together with Sticks and Steph, which is, I don't know, if that's going to happen, that's going to be a party. That's going to be a dream come true for me. But if I ever do that, do it so that basically the video is simultaneously displayed or uploaded on all of 3 of our channels. We basically share the stats, and you also kind of have the what's it called? The 3 little subscribe thingies there underneath. So next time Steph does an interview with Sticks, you're going to see Stefan Molyneux of Free Domain Radio underneath the video. On the other hand, you're going to see Sticks underneath the video. And that way you can also see on Sticks' channel when Sticks has done an interview with someone, which he does a lot. So that would be great. That would really network things together. By the way, that collaboration tools like that, it would network your thing together so fast. That it might not be the magic pill I'm making it out to be here, but it might really be great. That's going to be a big thing, really big thing. Looking at my OBS here, but really big thing. Someone's gonna take that out of context. Whatever. I don't really care. I mean, I'm doing this whole shit for hobby anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Anyway, that was basically it already. I mean, I'm kind of surprised, but it's only taken 35 minutes. I've really kept it brief this time. Honestly, that is actually kind of brief for me, which is, you know, it's gonna be sad, but yeah. If you want to follow me, if you really feel like it, I mean, I would be grateful. Subscribe to me on YouTube. That would be great. Also, you can subscribe to me on hi BitChute. On BitChute, under. See, I'm even going to show you how to type my name into BitChute. Am I not great? Right, Bernhard Everett on BitChute. Do that. Subscribe to me there. You can follow me on gab.ai at Bernhard, which is my Twitter. I don't really use Twitter. You can follow me there too, but it just basically spits out the video links. I don't really care about the Twitter. I don't like it that much. So I'm more on Gab. Or you could follow me at mine's at Anka_Medien. Again, Anka_Medien, written like it's in the like it is in the bottom left corner, which is my Facebook. What's it called? Ersatz replacement. So yeah, you can follow me all there. I'm probably gonna make another secondary video channel like PewTube account if they let me automatically upload if I upload to YouTube, because that's really easy for me. So I'm gonna think about doing that. I'm gonna talk about PewTube, BitChute, and all these other websites at some point in the future. I do about one stream or video a week. I'm gonna try to do one video every 2 weeks at least. So, you know, don't expect too much for this for now, but do expect more content to be there. And if you have, you know, a long memory, and if you want to follow me and get the notifications, follow me on the social media. If you just want to follow me on YouTube or BitChute, you're welcome, and I'd be glad to have you. And saying that, I guess I'm gonna say as the Canadians say. Well, no, first I'm gonna do something. Well, I always forget my outro. My intro is kind of. I do that all the time. I kind of get how that works now, but I forgot what my outro is, so let me think a second. Alright, well, I hope to see you in the next video. Live streams are in German, so sadly not that, but I hope to see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful erste Advent. I'm not quite sure what it's called in English. Have a wonderful holidays season, Christmas season, whatever, right? I just hope you enjoy. And we're going to see each other in the next video. I do very much hope so. And my name is Bernhard Everett. And as the Canadians say, peace out.